Are you sick and tired of feeling tired all the time and feeling exhausted and not knowing why? Are you taking a bunch of coffee and stimulants just to keep up with your work, just to keep up with your kids, just to keep up with anything in life? I'm going to talk about 7 really important principles and not only help you understand why you feel tired all the time, but also what you can do about it. So let's take this at the very core issue that I think is the reason why you feel tired all the time. It has a lot to do with internal and external stressors. For years working with patients and clients, I always find that it always is something that's happening more internally in their head, that's stressing them out constantly, and they're ruminating about something that maybe happened in the past that is gone and over with, but they keep on ruminating about it, or things that are in the future that they're stressed about that might happen. The problem is that I see is that a lot of people don't live in the present. If you can start learning to be more in the present, you're not going to spike your stress levels. And I'm talking about specifically things such as like your adrenals. Your adrenals are something that measures a lot of different hormones such as epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol. Has a lot to do with our energy, has a lot to do with our stress levels, and it can impact that. And if you're in this constant fight or flight mode and you're stressing, you're going to reach this burnout where you can't continue to function throughout the day. Now, there's also the external stressors. What are external things in your life? Is it your work? Is it your boss? Is it your manager? Is it your spouse? Is it your loved one? Is it any kind of relationship or friendships that are causing you stress? If that's the case, you need to somehow resolve these or get rid of those bad friends that are causing you constant stress, or even the bad work environment that you might be in. Because I'll tell you lots of other great things that you can benefit and understand of how to improve your low energy situation. But if you don't address this first, you're going to be constantly just hitting this wall over and over again if you don't address the internal and external stressors. Now, another really big reason that I do see a lot of my patients that are going through feeling exhausted and tired all the time is there's a big issue with micronutrient deficiencies that it seems like this pandemic, that every time I'm seeing patients that are coming in, I find that they have a lot of different micronutrient deficiencies. Some of the biggest ones are going to be vitamin D. That is so big. In fact, about 50+% of the population tend to be vitamin D deficient. So something you definitely should be always constantly checking on. The second is definitely B vitamins. That is something critical that not only helps with energy, but also helps with our mental focus and our mental mood throughout the day. If you have any B vitamins that are deficient, B vitamins are so critical for modulating a lot of our different brain chemistry, neurotransmitters, and also a lot of different cells throughout our body to keep us vital and having that energy throughout the day. 3 other ones that I think are really important that I see constantly over and over again with my patients is seeing magnesium, zinc, and iron deficiencies. And this does contribute significantly to someone that can feel tired all the time if they're deficient in these 3 areas. Because these 3 types of micronutrients are very critical for helping carrying blood throughout the body, to give nutrients to the body, to generate energy in our cells. There are so many important things with these different micronutrients that is something you should definitely be looking into, and probably a reason why you are feeling tired all the time. Now, you have to take it another layer. It isn't just like, okay, great, I am now addressing my micronutrient deficiencies and I'm taking supplements or I'm implementing foods. What if your gut's not working optimally? That is another thing that people forget about of possibly why they're feeling tired all the time, is you also need to be addressing your gut to making sure it's working optimally. Because if your gut is not working optimally, and you might think, well, my gut's fine, I'm not dealing with gassing or bloating, but if you're not getting consistent bowel movements 2-3 times a day and no any kind of digestive complaints, if your gut's not working optimally, guess what? The foods that you consume, the supplements you consume, you're not going to be processing it really well. So therefore, it's not going to feed the body, and you're going to still deal with feeling tired all the time, even though you're addressing the micronutrient deficiency situation. Now, once you've addressed that, the next layer that you want to be looking out for that is so common that I see this all the time is definitely hormone imbalances. So definitely for women, you want to make sure you're checking your thyroid. If there is a thyroid imbalance, and I'm not just talking about checking your just TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. That is a great baseline to rule in and rule out thyroid situation, but you need to be running like free T3, free T4, and then also running your anti-TPO levels, the antibodies that actually might be attacking your thyroid. That actually happens first before you might see your TSH, having situations. So definitely to rule it completely out, check all those tests with your doctor. Then all the things that you want to be checking for too is testing your progesterone, testing testosterone, testing DHEA. All these things can really make it clear of why you might be feeling tired all the time, because any of these indicators will indicate of having that low energy, but also can impact your focus as well. Now, if you're needing an in-depth guide, I have my all-day energy focus guide in the description below that you should check out and download there. Now, taking this another layer, another important thing to be looking at too is, especially here in America, we tend to have a very high sugar carb diet. And because of that, there's a big issue with insulin resistance and having blood sugar imbalances throughout the day. So you want to be checking your blood sugar levels, but having consistent blood sugar levels. And the way to do this is really just improving the diet, exercise, eating right. All these things can improve your blood sugar levels, especially trying to get protein throughout the day, good vegetables throughout the day, and this can stabilize your blood sugar levels. And this might be impacting why you're feeling tired all the time. Now, another thing you really should keep in mind is you probably are somebody, because you're feeling tired all the time, you're drinking 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day. You might be drinking 5-hour energy. You might be drinking some energy drinks just so you can function. I will tell you that that might be good temporarily to just give you that boost of energy, but in the long run, and I've seen this time and time again, you're going to reach burnout. And let me explain why this is happening. When you are over consuming on stimulants, what it's doing, it's stimulating the body, right? It's asking the body to give it more juice, to give it more cortisol. Cortisol is what gives us more energy. And what's happening is you're squeezing and asking the body for more. What happens when there's no more juice? You reach burnout. And I see this time and time again. And you got to be really careful when you're overstimulating, because you're going to end up being far worse than what you're currently at if you keep up this pace of overstimulating yourself too much. So my suggestion is really, you don't need to go cold turkey, because you could cause headaches, all sorts of things. But what you want to be doing is addressing, okay, do I have micronutrient deficiencies? Do I have some hormone imbalances? Do I have an adrenal situation? And do I have internal and external stressors that I have not been resolving? If you address all those things and slowly implement the nutrients your body needs because you are micronutrient deficient, or you need to be supporting your adrenals to give nutrients to that, and over time, you'll find that you won't need all the stimulants. And so you could slowly be tapering off and find that you maybe just only need 1 cup of coffee a day and be good. So what do you need to do specifically to get out of this funk of feeling tired all the time, all day long? Well, what I suggest is that you do need to specifically look at testing things that we already talked about: testing your hormones, testing for micronutrients, testing your gut health, testing. All these things can be really critical to implement. If you want to know my secret of what I do with my patients and clients to help them have all day energy and focus throughout the day, then watch this video next that I go in deep about that to help you out.